Hi, this is Imre Galambos, Professor of Chinese at the University of Cambridge. Are you having trouble with publishing your article? Is the peer review system driving you crazy? This video is about how to make the peer review system work for you, or rather, how to change your mindset to actually appreciate its benefits. It is crucial to understand that the peer review system is not only there to help you, but it can actually protect you. It is one of the most powerful ways to ensure that your paper is of good enough quality and that you're making a good start on your academic path. The reviewers are not your enemy, they're your friend. Sure, they can be critical, but it is exactly what you need at this stage. So if this is something you're interested in, stick around. Okay, so what is peer review? This is a system in place in leading academic journals whereby submissions to the journal are sent out to scholars and researchers in the field to invite them anonymously to comment on the paper. They read the paper, give feedback, and make a recommendation whether the submission should be accepted with revisions, or rejected. After the approval of the journal's editorial board, the feedback and the decision are relayed back to the author, who could be you, and if accepted, the author may need to revise the paper, make some corrections, or make some changes depending on the reviewer's feedback. The reviewers are usually not paid, so they do this as a service to the academic community. Most of us academics are asked now and then to review a submission for an academic journal. And we do this because we want to help the community. The system is in place to ensure that the journal only publishes top quality papers. This is how it protects its standard, which in turn makes it more desirable for authors to publish in. From the point of view of an aspiring author, the peer review system is what stands between them and a successful publication. It is the gateway to a CV that is needed for job applications, especially since initially they have no or very few publications they can put down in their CV. And we all know that it is papers in peer-reviewed journals that really count. Most young scholars see the peer review system as an obstacle, as an extra layer of hurdles that prevents them from accomplishing what they want to accomplish. It may delay or even prevent a publication. It is like an evil gatekeeper to the treasure house. I think it is really important to switch this perspective around and realize that the system is not against you. And although it is not designed for your sake, ultimately it works to your benefit. The feedback you get from the peer review system is extremely valuable, and there are three main reasons for this. Number one, it is of high relevance. And this is because it comes from scholars working in your particular niche area. You often send your draft article to your friends and peers, and even to your supervisor. But their comments are usually less relevant because they are not experts on your particular subject. And so they cannot offer you the level of feedback you actually need. Peer reviewers, however, are chosen specifically to match the topic of your paper. So their feedback is much more relevant. This is the type of feedback that works best for you. Students sometimes ask me when reviewers suggest major revisions whether they should bother with these revisions or just focus on their next article, which they would be already writing. And I think that if you have somebody willing to give you feedback and spend their time telling you how to improve your writing, you better take their advice and work as hard as you can so you can raise the quality of your paper to the level expected by the journal. Because it is actually not just about this one paper. It is about improving your writing and your research methodology, about tracking down sources you have not known about. All these details and tasks are bound to make a long-lasting effect on you as a scholar. Basically, you need all the help you can get. And this is the best kind of help given to you free of charge, directed specifically at your paper. This is like free coaching, which does not happen much in life. So the best thing you can do is to buckle down and see your paper through, however many rounds of revision it takes until it's published. As I said, it's not just about this one paper, it's about you as an author and a scholar. The second point that makes peer-reviewed feedback valuable is that it is honest. This is the result of peer reviewers being anonymous and blind. So the reviewers do not know who you are. Okay, if you're a well-known scholar and you write about your niche topic, like the perception of snails in medieval society, it is often possible to guess who you are. But at the beginning of your career, this is usually not the case. Nobody knows what you work on, even if it's largely about snails. When you send your draft paper to people you know, the feedback is usually biased in your favor. They want to encourage you and push you forward on your journey. Often they have heard about your project from you and may be familiar with its background, which is why they may not notice when something obvious is missing. Anonymous peer reviewers, however, do their job blindly, well, technically blindfolded, without knowing who you are. So their feedback is less biased, which is exactly what you need. Because the reviewers work blindly, not only do they not know who you are, you don't know who they are either. Which is an extra layer of protection to ensure brutal honesty. Because even if they might be able to guess who you are, they know that you don't know who they are, and so they can write with full honesty. The third point is that this kind of feedback is balanced. The journal sends your submission to not one but two or more reviewers who do not know each other and work independently, each writing up their own set of feedback and recommendation, so that the journal receives at least two sets of feedback, which helps them make an unbiased decision regarding your paper. If both reviewers recommend to reject it, then it's an obvious rejection because the article is not good enough. Of course, this news may sting, but you need somebody to tell you that, so that you can work on your paper and improve it, and learn from it for later projects. If one reviewer suggests rejecting it and the other one accepting it, then the journal may send out the submission to a third reviewer and then make a decision based on their recommendation. In any case, two or more sets of feedback are valuable for you because the reviewers may notice the same thing, which tells you that there's something obviously wrong, there's an elephant in the room, or they may notice different things, so it's actually better to know about all the problems so you can correct them. An additional benefit of the peer review system is that you would have to return to your paper after several months of not working on it. And these months of idleness provide a useful perspective. You can see your paper more objectively from a distance and notice things that you were unable to notice when you were immersed in the project. So the extended stretch of time the peer review process may take can also be useful because it enables you to look at your paper more objectively. All in all, the peer review process can be long and exhausting, but rather than seeing it as a monster that prevents you from accessing the cookie jar, you have to appreciate its positive sides. It is there to ensure the quality of your paper and improve your research skills. And of course, it benefits the journal, but the benefits to you are perhaps even bigger. All right, that's all I wanted to say today about the peer review system. Let me know if you have any questions or if there are topics you would like me to talk about. And please consider hitting the subscribe and like buttons. Apparently that helps the channel. Thank you for watching and see you next time.